Hi, in this week's video, I'm going to be turning this very big and very heavy brown box into this NordicTrack 1750 treadmill. And this is the fourth NordicTrack treadmill I'm building, so I'll give you some really good tips along the way, and I'll help you avoid the mistakes that still haunt me to this day that I made when I built my 2450, which is a very similar treadmill to this one. You can see my first mistake. So this is what it should look like on this arm. Can you see the difference there? Although I can push that in, every time I lean on this, it comes apart. I also sheared one of the bolts off when I was fitting the screen. I was mortified at the time, but it didn't cause a huge problem. So when we're building this, the 1750 behind me, I'll make sure you don't make any of those mistakes. Let's get cracking. Let's start with delivery. If you're like me, you'll probably feel like saying, leave it there, mate, I'll sort it out later. Don't do this. This is very much a 3-person delivery, and the box weight is 134 kilos or nearly 300 pounds. I had 2 new pieces of equipment delivered, so I sent my way over a cold drink and some snacks. This is heavy work for these guys. This will take much longer to unpack than you think it might. If you're thinking about buying a 1750 or any other piece of NordicTrack equipment, I'll also put a link in the description. It will take you to the best price on the NordicTrack website, and it also helps support the channel, which is really appreciated. Apart from using the treadmill, this is probably the most labor intensive part of the whole thing, unpacking it. I can see here from my Mel Robbins podcast, it took me 37 minutes and 51 seconds to get it unpacked. And compared to this, this is the 2450 from 2022. This version here, this year's version, there's a lot less parts. So it's not any easier to unpack, but for building, there's a lot fewer parts than there were with the previous model. And you've also got a new blister pack here with all the tools and parts you're going to need. Here's the recycling, so disappointingly, not that much recycling. My top tip here is to keep everything intact. When you take it out, you just break those down so you can get the treadmill out, but then you can put that back on, which makes it easier for refuse collection. This side here is all the landfill. So this, and this. Disappointing that this can't be perhaps stiffened cardboard or something, because this will take a little while to get rid of. One thing that NordicTrack do well is their instruction booklet. So this is about all the parts and also some warranty information there. I'm going to move on to step 1. And step 1 is to connect the first upright. So this is the most difficult side because this is where the wires are. And the upright, as you can see here on this one, is this part here. So I'm going to carefully take the packaging off these. This is tied on there so it doesn't go inside the leg. And my top tip here is to make sure that this is free. So it might be that during the unwrapping process that this has gone underneath there, which you don't want. You want it to be over the top and free. When connecting these wires, I'm just going to make sure everything is seated nicely in the back of the adapter at the factory on both of these. Just make sure everything's in. And then I'm going to connect these two together, and I'm looking for a clicking sound or the feeling that they've gone in. In most cases, you should have 2 red dots, but it'll only go one way anyway. Let's see if we can hear this clicking sound. Hopefully that was picked up on my mic. So if you've not connected these properly, it is a bit of a job taking everything apart again. So just double check that everything is in. And these blister packs and the instructions make things so easy. So next step is to remove this screw here, which looks like an earth screw. There it is, and replace it with this almost identical looking screw from the blister pack. I don't know why. And then that goes through there, and then that gets screwed into there. And once I'm happy with all the connections, they're nice and tight, I've double checked them, all this gets pushed into here like this, and then this just gets put that way around so the earth goes in the bottom there. Hopefully you can see. And then that gets popped in. The next step involves 4 of these and also 4 of these. You use those to put this first upright on here, and there's just 2 screws, 2 bolts here in the front and 2 in the back there, 1 at the top, 1 at the side, and all the time I'm making sure that the wire here is free and not getting trapped. They also provide you with a tool here to put these on. You can see here that this one here is just so hard to get to. So although they give you a tool for it, you're probably better off with a spanner and some patience. And also make sure you don't over tighten any of this. So keep it fairly loose at this point. You want to be able to kind of move it around just for fitting the rest of the parts. So that's both the uprights on. The next part is where it becomes a two-man job, and that's fitting the console and also the screen, which I've tucked away in the corner there for safety. To fit this part here, I'm going to need four of these. So putting this part on is where you start to need two people, and making sure I know exactly where all the cables are as well, so I don't pinch one. Let's install it. So with the second person holding it, can you hold that end? So I've got my wife helping me, who doesn't like being on camera, do you? I very nearly made a schoolboy error. So here's the cable that connects to this one. So this is in here, but you need to untie this and pull it out this way first. And with that done, you can see they're both now in the right place, ready to be connected in a moment, and they've been removed from here. Are you okay, darling?
Yes.
Is it getting heavy?
It's very heavy, very awkward.
So I'm going to drop as you can hear, I've married up with my wife. I'm just going to put these in hand tight for now, just to give my assistant a break. And it's really important that when you do the bottom parts up here, that they're not too tight, because that makes it really hard then to get this on. I've left this loose for now, just for a second, until I'm on to the next part. And this is the second part of the wires. I'm just doing all this by hand. I'm not going to use any scissors around this area or a knife. Just going to remove all this. And once again, I'm going to check here that all the connections into the blocks are fine. They all seem good. And like last time, there's a red dot for me to connect. Let's see if we can hear the click. Oh, there it is. And then these wires just push back into this cavity here. Now I'm happy, I've tightened these up on this side as well, and it's time to put these on. So these are like the handrails, and I haven't put these on. And this is a big step forward than the previous generation. Building this is just a lot easier. But I know about these, and I know that A, if you get something wrong, they're a pig to get off. So make sure you're happy before you put these on. And B, the sound they make when you put them on is just terrible. Let's have a go. I don't think I can even do it. That wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Let's get this one on. It just feels like you're breaking something. There we are. That was easier than I thought. Next is the screen, so I'm going to very carefully expose the ends of this, making sure that I keep them kind of safe. You've got two connectors here and your earth. I'm just going to feed these through here so they're out of the way. That's that. And then I'm going to put the screen on. So with the screen, you can see that you've got these wires here. I'm going to pop them through. So as I fit this on, it goes at an angle, making sure that's gone in and nothing's pinched. So hopefully you can see here are the wires that are part of the tread along with that one, and then you've got these screen wires here that are just here. So everything is free, nothing's pinched, all looking good. And then with this brilliant tool, which comes in a pack, you put your screws in and just tighten them up like this. The next step is this plate here, which kind of just finishes it off really. It's not the easiest thing to get in. Actually just slides in. Oh, it's come out again. So I've made a schoolboy error. After spending 10 minutes just getting this little bit of plastic on, I had to go for an emotional lap as well. I've gone to do the other side, but the screen won't go past this point. And I'm thinking to myself, why could this be? And the reason why I'm showing you this, because I'm embarrassed, is so you don't make the same mistake. I've actually put the screen on backwards, kind of. So it will only go this far in this direction, but will go all the way around in this direction, which is the opposite of what I want. So with the screen on the right way now, I'm just going to check all these connections are in straight from the factory, and I'm going to join the wires up. So the good thing to know here is you can't get this wrong, and the reason being is that they're different shapes and they're color coded. So let's put that one onto there and listen for the click. There we are, that's in. Same for this one, listen for the click. Oh, that's a bit quiet, that one, but there was a click. And that's those connected. You just fit the blanking plate and screw it up. This is the part where you're reminding the person who's holding this above your head how much you love them and they love you, because we're going to fit the piston now. It's quite easy to do. It says this part towards the belt, which we're going to do. One thing to remember is the bolts are already fitted in here, so they're not in your blister pack. I'm just working as just working as fast as I can here, because I'm getting just the wrong part. I'm just scared. Just because I'm being shouted at. Hang on. So this part isn't necessarily difficult. It just requires somebody to be holding the treadmill above your head while you're fitting these parts. And all you're doing is connecting the bar to there and there. The screw's already in there. And then you're putting the piston on, and then you're fitting it at the bottom there as well. Now we're back to the start, really. Do you remember these? I'm going to tighten these up fully now. It's time to do that. And this one, which was awkward, it's easier to get to once the treadmill is in its up position. The last thing to fit is the decorative covers, just to tidy up the end there. My top tip is always put your treadmill on a mat, just to save your floor. And that's it, it's all built. Moment of truth. Yes. After all that hard work, I deserve a run. Got my drink, got my inhaler. And if you found this video helpful and you are thinking about buying a 1750 or any other NordicTrack device, then use my link in the description. As I've mentioned, it will help support the channel, which is greatly appreciated. I'm currently doing this workout series, which is like a couch to 5K alternative. And it gets you to that 5K running, so about half an hour without stopping. However, it does it at a much slower pace. So if, like me, you don't have great lung fitness, it's a really good way to get your distance up, and it's not too hard on your body. Now this is a very good treadmill. That was amazing. I'm a happy, sweaty mess. 5 stars for that one. See you next time.